This is Irontrader. It is Monday morning, so it's time to go to work. So we're going to take a look here at Bitcoin, at gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. We'll take a look here at the old NQ, which is down about 23. Okay, this video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation buy, selling stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Here we have Bitcoin, your daily and your weekly chart. Now, let's blow this up nicely, and you can see we had this big red candle. But if you look always to the left, as I always say, look to the left at 123.615. See this double top situation? It could not get and close through that. That's the key. Now, we had that big red candle on Friday. We had that topping tail candle. And then today, look at here, big red candle with a lower low. That's not good. So let's look at the downside. So right now, you're looking at, it got as low as 114.925. We're looking right to the left here at 114.685. Okay, see that? 114.925. This is your next level at 114.685. Okay, so that's what we're looking at as of right now. Now, the next level, you're going to come, it's going to be right there at 114.300. Come to the bottom of this candle, 113.860. And then we'll come to the bottom of that candle, 113.440. And then we're going to have this retest at 113.45, which is basically right there. But the 50-day is just a smidge above it at 113.352 level. Okay, so right there, these are your targets here under this. Is why you use price channels. That's all these blue lines are. It's just bottoms and tops of candles. Makes life a lot simpler. But we want to watch that 50-day, and that's going to be key on a closing basis. You need to hold that. That's going to be very, very crucial. Now, if we start getting in some kind of a little bit of rally going up here, then what we'll be doing is we'll be looking for the bottom of this candle at 116.295 level. Then we'll come down here to Friday's low. You're looking at 117.175. Come down to the bottom of that candle, 117.610. But this is what you're really looking for, is at 117.826 level. And then we can look at so far as today's high, 118.350. And then we're looking for the key level at 118.786. Okay, but we lost the 8-day, we lost the 21-day, and now we're headed towards that 50-day. So this is going to be very, very crucial on a closing basis. Now, what we had here is that negative divergence. So we had a high. Then we had a higher high, we had a lower high. Okay, that's always red flag when you see that. Now, when we were going up there very nicely, and you can see where the momentum now shift to the bottom, that green crossed over. That's not good. See, this is what happens, and then this is what happens. So again, we got to see, maybe it'll hold this level here. So to be very, very patient. Okay, if it holds this key level 114.685, if not, you could probably hit that 50-day and maybe even do that retest at 113.45 level. Now, here by Friday, right now, we will be watching this level, 116, 169 by Friday. That's the key. Just because it came all the way down, but it closed back up. Notice that 8-day. So this is going to be very crucial by Friday to hold that 116, 169 level. If we don't hold that, then we just look at the top of this candle, 112.345. It come right there. Then we look at the top of that candle at 110.150. And then we have this top of that candle at 108.960, and then we have your 21-day at 105.724. We still have a very, very bullish chart on the weekly, low, higher, low, higher, low. This could come all the way down to the 50-day, and this still would be a very, very bullish chart. Okay, so just always, always remember that all we're looking for here is these higher low situations and higher high situations. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Now you can see here, very, very strong on the RSI. Got a little bit to an over bought condition, and now she's coming back, but that doesn't mean it can't curl right back up again. Okay, your green is still over your red, has not rolled over, but this is what we want to watch by Friday. Is going to be that 8-day simple moving average at 116, 169. Now, today, again, what we just really want to watch is if it keeps on going, just watch the bottom of that candle. We follow the candles until we hit that retest at that possible 50-day, but it has to hold that 50-day. If we lose that 50-day, this could get ugly real, real quick, okay? Then we're talking right there, okay? We're talking right here, okay? Then we can follow the candles down, and then we can talk all the way down to 104, okay? But again, let's not just worry about that right now. Let's just see if this can hold the bottom of these candles, and it can hold that 50 SMA. All right, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. Here we have gold and silver. Now we can see here we're just kind of like a sideways action. All right, so what we're doing is like a ping pong action between this 50 SMA, okay, 33.73. Now you can see we got just a little bit lower, but it popped right back up. But the upside, what you're doing is you're watching that 21-day, okay? So let's take the upside first. 33.97. We popped above it, but we got to close above that 33.97. The next level we're looking at is that 8-day at 34.12. Okay, you can see now, if you look at this, see right there, into it. Okay, so you have to give this the benefit of the doubt that it might not pop through. But if it does pop through that 34.12, then we'll be looking for the top of that candle at that 34.23 level. All right, then we'll come right to the bottom. Okay, we're looking right there, looking at that 34.45 level, and then we're looking at 34.51. Okay, and then we come up to the top of this candle right there at 34.66 level. Now, if it can't get through this, okay, say it can't get through this, it needs to hold this 50 SMA, 33.73. We start losing it, then we'll come to the bottom there, 33.31. What do we have here? 33.24. We have that 100-day at 33.18, and then we have your retest at 3,300, which is basically just the bottom of that candle. Okay, so right now we just have sideways action. There's really not a whole lot going on here unless we can close above this key 8 SMA here and this key 21 SMA. You close above it, I'll jump into GLD and we'll try to work our way up to that 34 level. Now, if we can just go sideways. Now, what we had here, it looks like we had a pull and have a possible bear flag. But this is dragging, really dragging on. Okay, so this is more of a sideways action versus a bear flag situation. Okay, so bottom line, watch the 50-day on the downside, 21-day, 8-day on the upside. RSI, well, you're sitting at 50. That could go either way. The green crosser over your red shows you that momentum that we had to the downside, but that doesn't mean it can't curl up. But right now, we just have sideways kind of an action. Now, if we look at silver, well, let's see what we got with silver here, okay? Check that out. Silver has a very nice pattern going, okay? We had negative divergence, sold off. Negative divergence, sold off, held a 50-day nice, rallied all the way up here, and then we put this kind of like an indecision topping tail candle. But this is the key level that we have to get above and close above in order to hit that 39.91. But first of all, we have to we're pinned right against this 38.17, and we're pinned right against that 21-day at 38.21. You have to get above that in order to go up to the higher. Now, if we can get above that, then that's going to be your target at that 38.56. But right here, see this 38.76 level, and you bring this bad boy all the way across. See how we have it coming right across here? This is what you're looking for. It has to close above 38.87. Once it closes above that, then I'll jump into the SLP. Yeah, I'll be a little bit late to the party, but at least I know that it's going to roll up, and then we'll be tagging at 39.91. Okay, so that's what we're going to look at. But this is going to be very strong because it hit it. Okay, look at that. See how many times? Very strong. But today, what we want to watch is that 8-day. We want to watch that 21-day. Okay, then we can watch this 38.78 level. Okay, the 38.80 level. This is what we're watching the next. But the 8-day and 21-day. Now, if we can't get above all that, we look through today's low, 37.83, Friday's low, 37.72, and then we're looking for this 50-day at 37.47. Now, respect the 50-day because it held it in the past. Right now, we have sideways action, kind of a situation, so we got to see how that shakes out. Now, RSI here, well, you're sitting at 53. That could go either way. Green is below your red, but we have a sideways kind of a situation, and if you take it and you look at the overall picture, this is kind of very bullish chart. Okay, we started here, and then what we did is we built up this energy, and then we put a nice, beautiful bull flag situation. Then she rallied all the way up here, and then we peaked out at that 39.91. Now, if we can get above all this, head for that 30.91. You crack above that, you got to go 40, 42, 45 will be your target. The same way here, 35, 34. You crack above that, 35.50. Then you go toward that 3600, maybe 3620 on the old gold. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil and natural gas. All right, here we have crude oil. Now, what we got going on here is we had hurricane season right now. We are in the middle of this. Now, we had this hurricane. It was building up in the Atlantic, and it turned all the way to a Cat 5, but it did not go into the Gulf. Okay, so the ports are not shut down. The rigs are not shut down. So that means that, there's no catalyst to take the crude oil higher. But again, there's a lot of hurricanes that can develop. Now, yes, you're probably going to have some damage going up that coast, but you're not going to really affect that oil, okay, and natural gas market. Okay, so always remember that. But anytime you have any kind of disruption, okay, shut down rigs or ports or wars, then crude oil can rally up very nicely. But Right now, we just don't have that. And you have a pretty much a good solid glut going on in oil now. Saudi Arabia is pouring oil into the market. If the T-Man and Putin can work something out here on this Ukraine war situation, then Putin's going to want to dump more oil on the market. So always remember that U.S. is pumping a lot of oil. So always remember that how, you've got a flooded market, supply and demand is right there. The only thing would be disruption would take this higher, like it did right here. This was the war premium. Okay, this was not really a supply and demand issue. Now, what we're really watching, it came right on down, but you notice that we're holding this 61.94. That's going to be very, very crucial on a closing basis. Now, if we start losing that area, that 61.94 level, then we're going to come right to the bottom of this candle. Okay, what are we looking at here? No, that's the wrong candle. Okay, sorry about that. Here's the top of that candle, 61.72. That's what you're looking for next. And then we're going to be coming to the bottom at 61.06. And then we have 60.55 level, and then we're going to come down to that 59.74 level. That'll be your big retest. Now, obviously, if it loses that, we can come all the way down to the 55 level. But let's just take one level at a time here today. All right. So what we're really watching today, we had this high of 62.55. Friday's low was 64.15. Okay. See, 62.55. 62.55. And then we had 62.68. So we still have a little bit of gap going on there, right? Next level we're going to look is looking at that 8-day at 63.28. That's going to be very, very crucial because now we are in this downtrending situation. We get above that, we can go to Friday's high, 64.15 level, okay? Because look at how times we're hitting your 64.10, okay? We're sitting at that 64.34, so you got a lot of really good big time resistance before we even hit that 100-day, almost like what we had going on here, okay? But if we can crack that 8-day, okay, then we can head for that 100-day. All right, 64, 66, and then we can head for that the 21-day, the 50-day, and then we have the 200-day up there, 67. But you can see here how the price now is below all your simple moving averages. 8-day rolled over, 21-day rolled over, not looking very, very strong here as far as the bulls go. But we're holding the 61.94, so that's going to be very key. RSI, you're nowhere near, oversold. That could come way on down. Same way with the MACD, that could go lower. But so right now, what you just want to do is trade this range. Okay, 61.94 on the bottom, and then we want to go 63.28 on top. We want to crack that. If you can get above that, we look at this level, all these candles, and then we hit the 100, 21-day, 50-day. But it's going to take a catalyst in order to do that. Now, natural gas, well, really having a tough time to getting off the ocean here. Okay, so we look at natty gas, and I'll say this how strong this 8-day is. Okay, so look at how we went into it. Okay, got a little bit above it, but it had an indecision candle, fell right down. Now Friday's candle went right above it, closed right back down, and now we have this lower low. So what we're really watching on natural gas is that 276. That's going to be very, very crucial on the downside. If we lose that 276, all we do is come right to the left of the chart, and you're looking right there at that 268. That's going to be your next level. Then we have 264, and then we'll be looking at right at the bottom of this candle at that 251. All right, and then you can work yourself all the way down until we get all the way down to the 221 level. But let's just take one level at a time. Now, at upside, we have to get back above this 8-day. Okay, 290. You get above there, we can go to the 21-day, and then we can start hitting some of these candles. See, we have that at 310. We have a 314 level. We have 318 level, 326, 333, and then we have your 333 as your 50 SMA here, 100-day. But look at this. Look at this. Absolute waterfall on all of this. There's nothing bullish about this chart at all. Descending chart. Okay, so just always remember. For me, I just trade this daily. I still have my short position going on crude oil, on the SCO, and I'm going to see how that all going to work out. So I still got the shorty on the crude, and I have no position, but I'll be looking for trades on the natural gas. So what I'm looking for is if we lose that 2.76, then I'll jump into KOLD, and we'll take this bad boy lower. If we can hold that, we can maybe take a rally back up to that 8-day. But we got to see how that's all going to shake out. But right now, we just have, it just rallies up, comes down, rallies up, comes down, rallies up, comes down. The question is, can it hold that key level at that 2.76? Okay, let's take a look here now at the old NQ. All right, here we have the NQ. All right. Now, you can see here we have this. We made a nice good high at 24.68 level. But again, we have this negative divergence. We have a high, lower high, high, higher high. Never good. All right. So we got 24.68. They were coming up to that top. And now we're accelerating on off. So the downside, what we really want to watch is this 23.782. That's an 8-day. Your next level is going to be that 23.511 level. We get below that, we can come down to the bottom of this candle, 23.84. We come down here at 23.45. Then we'll be looking for that 50-day at 22.937. And then we have your retest at 22.775. But again, we got to see how it all shakes out. Now, on the upside, all you do is just follow the candles out today, 23.881. We'll come to the top of there, 23.963. And then we have 24.07. And then there's your big retest, 24.068. You get above that, it could go 25,000. We don't know where we're actually going to be. You can use Fibonacci, and I don't know. It all depends on how these FOMO traders are taking. For me, this is just a trading kind of a situation. This is not a buy and hold. This is just a trading situation. All right. Now, remember, this week we got Powell's in Jackson Hole, and he already came out and said that, there's no guarantees of a cut here in September. And after that PPI report, I think he's going to swallow this information that I'm just saying, I don't see where you really should be cutting any rates right now. Inflation is rocketing up higher. And again, remember when you put tariffs on, it's not instant. You will know that's that maybe at the end of one quarter, maybe after the end of 2 quarters, okay, before those tariffs start kicking in, kind of a situation before, you're raking money into the United States. Absolutely. No question. And you're trying to get more of a fair trading situation. I get all that. But that also creates inflation. So he's really in a tough position. But I hope that he just holds his ground and just does his job. The Fed has to be a separate entity from the government. Okay. So I just think that I don't think they're even going to do any cuts like in September. So that's where the market could sell off. Now we're coming into the end of August, September, October. I've been warning you out here for months. This is the time of the year where you can just crater these stocks. This is the worst time. This 6-week period is the worst time for all stocks. Okay. So just always remember that. Use stop losses. Okay. That's the key to think. Now, when I get done here with this NQ, I'm going to play you a little video of they call him Einstein. Okay, so I'm going to play you just a little bit of clip of him. And this, I don't listen to, I listen to all the kind of news. I listen to CNBC. I have Bloomberg going on. Okay, I have global news going here. I have local news. I listen to all the news that I bring that in. But there's very few traders or people that I lift there. But Peter Tuchman, he's one of these traders that have been around. I've been listening to this guy for 2 decades. Okay, he's one of these guys that really has his act together. They call him Little Einstein. Okay, so I'm going to play a clip of that. And then, just take it all in and just listen to it. And that's the same thing. What I'm saying is use stops in play, trade the market. Okay, it's better to take a small loss than it is to take a huge loss coming into this time period. Okay, so I'm going to play them for you right now.
First of all, if you want to become a day trader, have a plan when you get into a stock. Ask yourself, why am I buying or shorting this stock? Okay, and the only 2 reasons to do that are either price action or technical analysis. On every trade that you make, you must have a stop order. If you have a mental stop, you're mental. You have a stop order and you never change it. If you're in a trade and it goes against you, you're out of the trade, you move on to the next one. If you're in a trade and it becomes successful, take a profit while you can. Up 50 cents, up $1. Move your stop order up to break even so you can never turn a winning trade into a losing trade. And then use a trailing stop to make as much out of your winners and lose as least out of your losers. If you're having a bad day, and we all have bad days, 3 losing trades in a row, you turn the machine off and go home. Doesn't make you a loser, doesn't make you a bad trader. You'll come back from a bad day, you'll come back from a bad week, but you will...